See, MPP for say they can use the military against the NDC. They shouldn't forget that in that same entity we have NDC people there.
That same military?
Yes.
You have NDC
yes.
people
So
there.
when we are pushed, we will trigger a division of the army. When we are pushed beyond what we can take, we'll trigger a division.
What's it?
When we are pushed beyond what we can take, we'll trigger a division.
Bruh,
they are NDC. They say we are pushed. We have NDC soldiers in the Ghana Armed Forces.
And
all of them. Once you are in a military uniform, you are a property of the state.
That's right.
You are supposed to be protecting the state.
But when the NDC is pushed beyond,
but when we are pushed beyond what we can take, and it is clear, sir, the MPP government want to use the military against civilians. Want to use the military to rig an election. Oh no, I'm telling you.
You create division in that.
We will not wait for President Mahama to give this order.
Whenever I say ma PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Imo bibiara kwaba eba PENDREAM TV. Say we are new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, no bell notification, on share ma afofron so ensa enkabi. Comment section ho nowadays wadrentre aba sene beya jumade no beya very interactive. Election 2024, and I said a few way about way a very crucial election for both the NDC and the MPP. Now, Johnson Asiedu Nketia I described this election as more important to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo than even the second term Nana occur in 2024. Asiedu Nketia address MPP and I said Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo epe obia obetimi akata nachi for some mess bia wakose during the time of office. And until MPP is in desperate need of power, and I say is in desperate need of holding onto power, NDC is also in desperate need of taking over power from the MPP. Now, so what here comments be a MPP gurus be aye in some time past a bit of by the champion Lord Comey. You could see say this election is not going to be easy, and until NDC Fonso Chese or Maya ready, and they have what it takes to face them. Mustapha Gbande, the Deputy General Secretary for the National Democratic Congress, Ode Nsembi Atuja, was sounding warning to the EC, Ghana Police, Ghana Military, and our friends on Ghana for Ghana, Ghana and as NDC for mistakes in 2020 election. Now this time no, almost free, mistakes this time no, there are certain things they will make sure say it must be done and it must be done well. Mustapha Gbande allege say MPP training kophobia babe deploy to steal ballot box during the election day. Now what I say they have what it takes, and I say NDC is fully ready to face those kind of people if said they are being deployed during the election day. Now auto or some Sunday warning to the Ghana military. Yeah, what I say MPP for I recruited Nipa Bebre, and I said most MPPs into the military. So they shouldn't make their mind say Omo use our people no to incite violence during the election day. Now Mustapha Gbande HSS senior yewa MPP people in the military no. We also have NDC personnel, and I said NDC people are Omo the military. Now, so Omo insult violence, they will crack the military into two. The same way, ne esema hudo bi na Mustapha Gbande edituja. Mepes obekame ho na yakutie ensem no enchire.
But Eden EC chairperson wohona bossman asari between IBB.
Well, it is who being used, and I've just given information.
Okay. When
we were doing recruitment of returning officers, the law is such that, and I'm happy a former general secretary is here. The law is such that the Electoral Commission will compile potential nominees and would have to send that list to political parties to vet. You hear who you are? Maybe a captain in the dean room, also a captain or a politically exposed or MPP name. When you critique, then it comes back to the commission, then the commission will make appointments of returning officers. They didn't do that. Osman Asari, we have mentioned, basically was calling directors, recruit this one, recruit this one, recruit this one. Captain, and I must say that, and yet the entire Electoral Commission is compromised. The district directors are not compromised. Most of the regional directors are not compromised. The big problem is from the headquarters. Employee, norm the list, MPP list, norm the now. You can't almost go and did they do a transparent recruitment of returning officers? The product of this shady work, NDC nullify Wali election. Because Electoral Commission was a supervisor of that election. Is that not so? Electoral Commission. And the case Abanas.
That's right.
How come we incurred irregularities in that election? Yendi election, MPP, primaries. We saw a staff of the Electoral Commission or Tom Printiaba or say for ballot papers.
EC official.
EC official. Are they the same people going into the 2024 election? Captain, then we are close to war. Hey, we are close to war. We are close to chaos. Are they going to exhibit that same behavior at the polls? Where a staff of a commission will be seen printing ballot papers, destroying legitimate and correctly voted ballot papers. Hey, Captain, we are not going into that election. Look, we are going into an election where it is 1 for 1. One human being, one vote. If you are a police officer, I hear that Western North, they've had a meeting there. Some of the police commanders say, "Oh, we are police in 2024 no, who can protect Bibina, we have a problem." And for commanders, no. The IGP is the officer in charge of Ghana's election. If anything goes wrong, the IGP will be held responsible. Mark my words, Captain. The Inspector General of Police and the Ghana Police are sharing some. So one here about us. He has regional commanders, he has district commanders. On the week of election, those commanders will be in place. If a commander sits down and allows for infraction into security is a compromise and neglect of duty. And I'm a So where is security kaka? When a security man is positioned, I want to be a gateway. Now when BBC, it's neglect of duty. You will be held responsible. So MPP for training Crophobia, if we have ballot box, we'll deal with those people. We have what it takes to deal with them. Oh yes. The NDC have what it takes to deal with them. And opinion markings, on an election, Utimiya soldier for the constituency to go and intimidate people. I mean, what kind of nonsense is this?
Opinion markings. Majority leader of Ghana's parliament. Even assembly election, I call it. Or the soldier for Timiko intimidating Crawford, journalist, Central Regional Correspondent. Do we sit in a democratic country and allow people to fester this level of arrogance to power? Captain, what happens to the powerless? So the soldier for
a military officer holding a rifle is not anything strange. He has the law to his side. But if he does what is not lawful, he seizes jurisdiction over what protects him. A soldier for you do longer than demand. When people beat them, what happens? Under President Akufo-Addo, they are soldier for your drivers. Those who have excess, to go and be protecting their lands. A Yusuamu as bodyguard, soldier, a military officer, Ghana's army, under President Akufo-Addo, who is the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. Kaswa, who can say, yeah, MPP, operative B. A soldier in Chokuno. Captain, will this happen? Me, sorry, you soldier near I have seen the Konkoma Dagomba war before.
You have seen it before?
I've seen it before. I've seen what it is. Captain, it took a disciplined, ordered, fortified armed forces to restore order. And I've told upon Pepra before. Sir, he's loved by Ghanaians.
Loved the CDS?
Yes, loved by
the soldiers.
He's a proper soldier.
Upon Pepra is a proper soldier of the Ghana Armed Forces. He's somebody who is a grassroots military officer. He understands the military and he knows the rudiments of military. And I told him that if he doesn't take care and he follows this government, they will crash the military on his head. Because we are getting to a point where MPP for said they can use the military against the NDC. They shouldn't forget that in that same entity we have NDC people there.
That same military?
Yes.
You have NDC people
yes. So
there.
when we are pushed, we will trigger a division of the army. When we are pushed beyond what we can take, we'll trigger a division.
What's it?
When we are pushed beyond what we can take, we'll trigger a division.
Bruh,
they are NDC. They say we are pushed. We have NDC soldiers in the Ghana Armed Forces.
And
all of them, once you are in a military uniform, you are a property of the state.
That's right.
You are supposed to be protecting the state.
But when the NDC is pushed beyond...
But when we are pushed beyond what we can take, and it is clear, sir, the MPP government want to use the military against civilians, want to use the military to rig an election. Oh no, I'm telling you.
You create division in that.
You will not wait for President Mahama to give this order.
You will not.
I keep telling you that we've been bent first, we've been bent second, third will not happen. Captain, we'll go into this election and come clean, no life will be lost. The NDC is in the position to ensure that the right thing is done. So I've told upon Pepra, said don't leave your responsibilities to politicians because they will mess you up. These people don't have the support of Ghanaians. They don't have. President Akufo-Addo and his government have lost the support of Ghanaians. So the NDC is going into an election with the support, full support of Ghanaians. Look, anybody who calls you is asking, Mama, what na protect the election? No. Yeah, the better mama. What is it that Ghanaians are seeing that all of us don't see?
Mustapha Gbande etwa nesemso no okasafa a voter transfer akoso for certain candidates and also for certain people they themselves are not aware say may I have transferred my vote from maybe Accra to Kumasi and I say any other region na say and I can say
be it near discussing issues near fine tuning the way forward no omojania koye press conference PR, and in that PR Bosman Asari described the errors as honest mistakes. Adia ya transfer within Adia Kobabi. I wouldn't. Adia what punishing with director in Pusigase what transfer data without your knowledge. Electoral Commission agrees to say the officer have transferred names without their knowledge, but yet he said they are reasonable mistakes. Captain, we are in dangerous times. Look, the document that we call today as a provisional voters register is not a register. It's not fit for purpose. It's a fraudulent document, a manipulated document, mixed up values. There is no clarity in terms of genuineness. That document cannot represent a voters registration document. That is what the NDC is saying. Now, the silence of the MPP throughout this conversation is more suspicious than ever. For any serious political party a year election, you should be interested that some names are missing mysteriously from the voters register. You should be interested that people are illegally being transferred, but the MPP is quiet. Does that mean that they will be beneficiaries of the potential manipulation? Those are the questions we're asking. Then they say, oh, we are not going to join the call of MPP, but anything, the NDC, anything that will give us a clean, transparent process, we are for it. Is that not double standard and hypocrisy? Captain, Yendi MPP primaries, okay, you see here. Electoral Commission, here's about one also. It was a flawed election, rigged election. Wale constituency. Today, you just mentioned it. Again, irregularities, double voting, flawed election. Today, as we speak, about 3 former MPs of the MPP are going on independent because they believe that
processes leading to their losing of election was not fair, was compromised, was manipulated. These are the kind of people we are going to election with. People who have developed a strong appetite of stealing everything, everywhere. They want to steal anywhere they get opportunity. And we are saying that Ghanaians have registered. Mubaye, kukrumutina de mubaye. Anya abane etuna de nana dubai. Today when you mention election, MPP is running away. But when you mention stealing, rigging, they are all for it. We will not go into the 2024 election with any compromise process. We will not. That will not happen. So the NDC have called for a re-exhibition. So that let all Ghanaians go and see again if their name is there. Because the MPP, the Electoral Commission is full of reasonable mistakes. 2, if they agree that there was theft, there was transfer, there was illegal transfer of names, then why don't we audit the whole system? Because 1, the Electoral Commission agrees when we exposed that some BVR machines were missing. They agreed with us. We said, let us do inventory. They did not agree. Subsequently, you said machine never will be torn or just to say phone. Data idea they got will be torn. So how many of these incidents exist that the public do not know? So is it not better in the interest of the Electoral Commission that you better audit? Now Ubia will go into the election with a clean mind. So there's nothing being hidden from the public. So that is where the NDC stands.
Sir, and when you know, is today, when we accept my proposals, no, say a exhibition for fraud, and I said,
yeah, the employee, okay, a trust and KB year, Kenya IPAC emergency meeting.
Okay.
In all fairness, because the things that have been identified, the fundamental fraudulent manipulations are more administrative than operational. Yanko Transi. Now all political parties fairly appreciate the issues. Then we can fine-tune through discussions where we stand. Almost say set a scheduled date for emergency IPAC meeting. Even before that set, the Electoral Commission is in the public. Obian Ta Electoral Commission also it is running. What has it got to hide? Nobody is chasing the Electoral Commission. When we identify the issues, the director of election, Dr. Omanebu, decided that look, let us be fair. Yan Tronkoma Electoral Commission to draw the attention. So we wrote, say, we will not also give you just a letter. No, because you are not aware of the issues. In all fairness, let's bring our sister parties to the table. Further and better particulars of the issue that we have identified. Then we can resolve it together. The Electoral Commission is on high speed, trying to please the public. When you are morally and integrity deficient in the eyes of the public. Look at when Danyao spoke at the Fortinke Forum. Did you see the rousing excitement from Ghanaians? How can you be a referee that no single player trusts you, except the MPP? And Captain, going into this election, Bossman Asare is the single most dangerous element and actor within the Electoral Commission. So I'm here, he will take this nation to chaos. Yes. Bossman Asare is a dangerous actor, very dangerous, exposed, grown appetite to rig the 2024 election, not even the commissioner herself now. Bossman Asare. And I'm telling you, and he thinks that because government has put some 5 soldiers around him holding rifle, he is fortified to rig the election. He's joking. He is joking. Let me tell you. They are joking.
And that's also 2020.
Let me tell the government. Let me tell the government that anybody who thinks no will compromise an election, nobody will be a president in 2025 out of a flawed, compromised, rigged electoral process in this country. I'm telling you.
Nobody.
Nobody. Nobody. And if they are thinking that they will use the military and use the police as they did in 2024,
The military and the police, 2020. The military and the police have no absolute control of security orders.
They don't have...
They don't have absolute control. They only have control when it is lawful. When a commander of an army is engaged in an illegality, that commander ceases jurisdiction to be a commander of an army. He's a civilian. We are commander, now politicians are going into election. And you sit on your responsibility to protect the state. And you side with one person to do what is wrong. When the public sees it and knows it that it is wrong, you cease to be a commander. Captain, this 2024 election, the stakes are very high. Nobody should accept anything than a clean, transparent, credible process. If the NDC goes to an election near Lusu on merit, sir, we'll go back and do our work well. So Ghana force you. President Akufo-Addo have built a very powerful legacy. Here, Juma, you want to yen, common yen, you better my President Akufo-Addo. The NDC cannot do anything. So we decided to say we must actually make a front of water. And now, woman so you better try my woman so no a one village, one district, one factory. You better want some that. Woman so near, my Juma ye, you better about my woman. Because the claim of MPP said they have created 2.something million jobs come from one district, one factory. It was spearheaded by Alan Kojo Chirimantin. Okay. So if they decide, say, we'll vote for Afafranto, NDC cannot do anything. But power say they will rig an election 2024. It's a fallacy. The NDC is more positioned to defend the democracy of this country against all odds and get what is right being done. What's our buying what the Bonia Bokronwa Bomino near election? Are you in a position to rig an election? Against who? Captain, I must admit, we slept in 2020. The NDC slept. Today, we are well awake. But for the NDC, you wouldn't even discuss these things that we have identified. But for the NDC, the public will not even know that the EC commissioners are in bed with the MPP to manipulate a provisional voters register by transferring people illegally. With the full knowledge of Bosman Asare. What is he talking about? Office of Abedina TV, so control, and then we would accept hook, line, and sinker. He's a joke.
But who feels a Bosman name?
Look, he's the one being used currently.
By who?
By the MPP, by government.
The only
Bosman Asare, yes.
Is the one being used.
He's the one being used with the IT department. Bosman Asare. I mentioned his name. He is the one. He's a dangerous actor at the Electoral Commission today. Very dangerous person that we must all watch. He's the first deputy commissioner to have had about 6 soldiers armed with pistols and rifles protecting him, being driven by a driver. What has he got to hide? Captain, the governor of Bank of Ghana, has he got 6 soldiers protecting him?
No.
The national security coordinator of this country, has he got 6 soldiers protecting him?
No.
The IGP, who is the commander of all the police force in Ghana, has he got 6 soldiers protecting him? No. What does Bosman have to hide? And the government thinks that, soldier folk could be commissioner and deputy chair. You have fortified and protected them to do wrong. Let me tell you, if anybody loses their life because of the negligence of any commissioner of the Electoral Commission, they will be held responsible and liable for that loss. We've lost 8 people in 2020. We shouldn't wait for other people to be killed. Because we will be called polling station. Now when we deal with one, there will be chaos. Look at the hustle. Centralized registration. We will be a 100 kilometers above a training. Okodu polling stations or Kotuaba. Captain, you need the DFM. Wouldn't there be chaos? Wouldn't there be chaos? And you think we will have the 2020 where a yin crofas or near Covolta radio, but a yin crofo DFM near a dinner to home? No, not this time around. Captain, not this time around. It is clear that Ghanaians have decided that, look, we need a change. This government is led by an 80-year-old man who is corrupt.
He's led the most fraudulent scheme ever against the people of this country. He's led the most fraudulent deception against the people of this country. He's led the highest level of governmental insincerity against the people of this country. Let them go. 8-year cycle is not favoring this government. The MPP is ignorant of the signs of losing power. We lost power before, so we know. The signs are more than enough for them to know. I would have thought that they will exit quietly. Captain, we have investigated almost 58. That's so called
58 days.
Appointees, including ministers of the MPP.
How my day?
There are most of them that have stolen more than $50 million.
Oh, debut. You are talking about 50 government appointees. And most of them
are still counting.
Have stolen more than $50 million.
Appointees of this government. What are they talking about?
And then what are they investigating?
I'm just saying, sir, look, and I kept telling these governments, sir, if they push us, even in opposition, the things we'll put out, Ghanaians will rise up against this government.
We want to know.
At the right time.
When? October, November?
Because the right time is when you put somebody by court and you put compelling evidence. If President Akufo-Addo wants, let him put his wife as a Chief Justice. 2025, his appointees who have stolen money will be prosecuted and they will be jailed. And everything stolen will be taken back.
What's your power? Chief Justice?
Chief Justice. It will be done. Captain, look, if we forgive this government of the atrocities they have committed against the people of Ghana, your generation is gone. Your children will have no hope. One to have Brianna Champo, now acquire a reckless, very insulting comment. One found a man to America. Do I have the money to take my kids to America? My kids are in this country. This is where they belong. They will not go anywhere. We must do everything possible to protect our children and the future of our children. And as far as I'm concerned, President Akufo-Addo and his crop of appointees are a danger to the next generation. The things they have done against this country. And these are the people who want to threaten our democracy, to say that we will rig an election at all costs, we'll use every means possible to rig an election. I wouldn't hand over.
The answer no for adventure ebra comment section. Like the video, I share my afro front so and Kebi. You share in the next video. Makra.
I'm not PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.